What's going on, guys? Carson back here with yet another signature series video. That's right, we got the, I guess, the offspring of the Floppy's signature series, single issues, whatever you want to call them. I know there's some people out there who prefer hardcovers and trades, so if you're one of those people, this one's for you. So we got plenty of hardcovers and trades to show off signatures in it. So the first one I got, one of the few trades I have in the collection because I mostly get hardcovers. I've got 100 Bullets, Volume 1, and this one is personalized to me by Brian Azzarello. So up there is his signature right there, so extremely grateful for that. Next up, I have Alias. This is pretty much most of the Brian Bendis run, and it is signed in a light gold, not his best gold pen, but it is signed by David Mack right there down at the bottom there. It's probably, there's a better shot of it, so David Mack to sign it right there. Absolutely love that book. We got some New Avengers action, so this is the Secret Invasion. Collects New Avengers 38 through 42, and this is one of the reasons I like getting hardcovers sometimes and taking them to cons, especially smaller ones like this, because you can get multiple signatures in them, and creators like to sometimes give you a personalized head sketch or remark or something inside your book. So I thought this was really cool. So I got signed by Brian Bendis, which thanks for signing over the remark there, Honey Bendis. I appreciate that. We got who else we got here? We got Jim Chung, Billy Tan, and David Mack. Once again, he used a better pen that day, but the remark was done by Billy Tan. So big thanks to him for that. Didn't even have to ask. He just started sketching, so I wasn't going to stop him. So I thought that was super cool. So one of my favorite hardcovers in my collection right there. I also have Part 9, which is the follow-up to this hardcover here. I used to like getting these Marvel Premiere hardcovers back in the day. This one's signed by Bendis, Jim Chung, and Billy Tan. So got 3 signatures in there. So I got this Batwoman Elegy signed by Greg Rucka, which if you guys haven't read this hardcover, I highly recommend this. One of my favorite stories. This one is signed and nicely personalized by Greg Rucka. He signed it, "Live with pride, serve with honor, and love with courage, Greg Rucka." I thought that was super nice. I've actually got like a whole bunch of hardcovers signed by him, and he took the time to fill out like almost something for each of them. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, if you guys see this deluxe edition hardcover, very nice. One of the better DC hardcovers out there, in my opinion, in recent years. But we do have Batman Black Mirror, and this one is signed by Jock and Scott Snyder. So happy to have both signatures in there. Now I just need Francisco Francavilla, and this will be complete. Hopefully I can meet him one day. Next up, I've got Batman, the Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Pretty cool hardcover. This is actually one of the first hardcovers I ever bought. And like I said, I like these type of hardcovers. They're nice and light. They got plenty of creators in them. So this one is actually signed by 4 different creators. So I got Andy Kubert, Tony Daniel, Freddie Williams III, and Don Kramer. Next up, we have Secret Avengers, Mission to Mars. This is from Ed Brubaker run, but I got it signed by the artist Mike Deodato, right down in the corner there. Next up, we got New Avengers. This is when they did, like, I think it was New Avengers Volume 2, basically, after that phenomenal first run they had. And this one, it was sloppily signed by Brian Bendis. Can't you see his name there? Alright, thank you, Bendis. Next up, one of the first trades I had, I think I had this one since I was a kid. This is how I originally read Death in the Family. And I got signed right on the top there by Jim Starlin. So I met him probably early 2000s at a Wizard World. I got that signed. Next up, we got Brightest Day Volume 1. So this is one of the hardcovers I bought purely just to get some cool signatures inside. I think I got this one signed 6 times. So I got 6 signatures in this one. We've got Ivan Rice at the top, Joe Prado, Rod Rice, Christian Almay, Pat Gleason, and Peter Tomasi all signed this. So I'd like to at least get John's signature in here at some point, but he's getting harder and harder to meet every year since obviously he's got a lot of jobs right now. So be cool to get one day, but happy to have a book with 6 signatures in it. Here's a backbreaker. So I love getting stuff signed, but man, sometimes taking these Omnis and getting signed, it's not easy. So there's probably a reason I have back problems from time to time. My back went out last year, and this is probably one of the reasons. So I got this Captain America omnibus sign, but it was nicely personalized with a remark by Mike Perkins. So big thanks to Mike Perkins for realizing how big and heavy this book was when I took it. So, like I said, I don't recommend getting these signed at cons if you have to walk around a lot and wait in line forever. And yeah, my back hurt that day. Luckily, these next batch of books, I didn't take all at the same time. This is like 2 or 3 different meetings of Rob Guillory, but I have all of the Chew Omnivore editions signed by Rob Guillory. Rob Guillory is one of the coolest people to meet just because for each and every one of these Omnivore editions, he actually did like a nice head sketch remark inside every single hardcover here. So I thought that was really awesome of him. That's definitely something he did not have to do. I think he just does it to, you know, increase the sales of the hardcovers at his booth, but I bought these beforehand and took them with me. This one's my favorite, by the way, the Chog. Who doesn't love Chog? Come on. But yeah, I mean, it's pure class right here, Rob Guillory, so absolutely awesome there. But yeah, you can't beat that. So this is one of the main reasons I still buy hardcovers from time to time, is just, you know, it seems like the artists like dealing with the hardcovers more when, you know, you're getting your signatures and stuff. Oh, and you gotta love when you're looking through your old signatures and you completely forget when you have more signatures in the same books you're looking at. So in the first 3 Omnivore volumes of Chew, I've got John Layman's signature in each of these from C2E2 2013. So there's issue 1. And like I said, I just started keeping opening them up. I'm like, oh yeah, I also met John Layman that year. So there's issue number 2. And then last but certainly not least in this aspect, issue number 3. So he signed these 3 Omnivore editions when the remarks happened by Rob Guillory. So I thought that was awesome. I completely forgot. To wrap up, we got some super limited, well, probably not limited, but we got some nice big Absolute style comics. So I think before the DC Absolute craze, there was this JLA Avengers, which I've talked about this many times on my channel. Kurt Busiek, George Perez, some of George Perez's finest work, especially like in you know, I don't know if I'd call it the twilight of his career or not, but obviously the 2000s and the 80s is a big difference. But I've always loved that cover. But nonetheless, I'll show you the signatures I got in here, and just show you this in general because I don't see these around too much. So this big edition actually came with 2 books. So you get JLA Avengers, which just collects, you know, the 4-issue run right here, which is a phenomenal way to read it because obviously it's a lot bigger and more deluxe than a normal comic. And then it came with this nice compendium. So you get like all the extras and just sketches by Perez inside it. So it's actually really cool. And then just a history of the DC and Marvel crossing over. So I got this one signed by George Perez. And as well, because, you know, you have 2 books, you're in there together, he's going to sign both of them. So you get 2 Perez signatures for the price of 1, basically. And then I got 2 Absolutes that I've got signed. Like I said, backbreakers. Take these at your own risk. Probably destroyed my lower back over time. But nonetheless, happy to get signatures in them. There we go. But yeah, here's Absolute Justice. Still smells like paint, so yeah, there's that. So every time they do an Alex Ross Absolute edition, like if you're gonna get like an Absolute edition of one artist, just get all the Alex Ross ones because these things, like, they're very beautiful to say the least. So of course I had to at least get one signed by Alex Ross right there. Happy to get that signed after hauling this around a con. I think I got this signed at C2E2 either. I think he showed up at either 2010 and or 2012. So I think I got this signed around 2012 probably. But yeah, taking this around, you guys, most of you know how big C2E2 is. I carried this around with me for a good chunk of the day, and I got my brother's Absolute Kingdom Come signed. So if you multiply this times 2, that was like my haul for the day, and it wasn't, I don't recommend it once again. So last book I gotta show, we got Batman Absolute Court of Owls. So when Snyder and Capullo are signing together, and it's a limit one. You may as well just take an absolute edition with you. So I got this one signed by both Snyder and Capullo. And Scott Snyder personally, he says, the court is watching you, Scott Snyder. So I met them at C2E2 2016. Very happy to get this one signed by them as well. We got to do the totals at the end, right? Even though I don't know if everyone wants to count single issues and hardcover separately, but hey, whatever. A signature is a signature in my opinion. So today I showed you 21 hardcovers and trades. So 21 books today for a grand total of 40 signatures in those 21 books. So I guess if we're combining everything overall, that's 1,440 signatures. So 1,440 signatures. That's awesome. So I just want to thank everybody once again for catching Signature Series here on my channel. We're going to have probably 4, maybe a 5th part total of this Signature Series with the trades and the hardcovers. The reason I say 4 or 5, I broke them down into about 20 per video, but there's one book I might have to dedicate a video just to that one book, so stay tuned to see what in the world that means. But other than that, just big thanks to you guys for sticking out, watching these Signature Series video. It means the world to me. So until next time, thank you guys and have a wonderful night.